Hey everyone, Flora here. So I wanted to pop back in here today and talk with you about something that I just spoke with one of my private clients about. And it's about change and why when we're going through change, all of a sudden we feel like we're extra busy and we're just getting all this, we're doing all this stuff, but we're not really getting anything done. We're not really being productive. And I asked her, I said, do you want to know why this happens? And she goes, yes, please, because it's driving me nuts. So if you find yourself in the process of a change, a major change, or even just a small change in your life, and you find yourself just doing all this busy work and just keeping yourself busy, but not really making progress and not really being productive, the reason why that is because when you are going through change, so us as humans like routine. And when we go through change, which of course we all know change is the only constant, but typically this is kind of major change. When we go through change, our ego mind is going, holy shit, what the fuck is happening? I don't like this. This is not a drill, people. What the hell is going on? And your body's like, to your ego, it's okay. I got this. Let's do this. And then your body starts to try to do all this work, busy work, to keep active, to keep your ego mind satiated so that it's not freaking out. Meanwhile, you're just doing busy work. You're not actually making progress towards anything. So if you find yourself or find that you're in that space right now, one of the things that I would recommend that you do is, first and foremost, give yourself a moment to have a little freak out time. Give yourself a moment to have a little bit of acclimation or decompression where you're like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to have a couple Moscow mules, sit on the couch, and watch Netflix. And that is absolutely okay, all right? Then the next day, ask yourself, okay, so where am I at now? Now that this change is happening, where am I at? What am I doing? What's going on? So recognize where you're at. And then say, okay, so this is the change that's happened. This is where I'm at. Where do I want to be? Where do I want to be? Where am I going? So write out, literally, like grab a notebook. Okay, grab a notebook. And write out like where you're at, where you want to be. And what you're going to then do is to find that bridge between the two, okay? So when you recognize where you're at and where you want to be, then you actually know where you're going. And what happens when change happens, all of a sudden we're like, holy shit, that was like a cosmic 2x4 upside the head, or that was like a curveball going, or, you know, something in your life saying plot twist, and you're like, oh God, now I have no idea where I'm going. Stop and say, okay, regroup, find out where you're going, and then you can say, okay, so now that I'm clear about where I'm at, now that I'm clear about where I know I'm going, okay, what do I think needs to happen for me to get to here? Or you can ask yourself this another way. What steps or actions could I take that will help me get from where I'm at to where I want to be, or where I know I see myself going? Then you can actually start to write out those actions or those goals that you think you need to achieve in order to make it to this point in your life, okay? Then what you can do, because again, a lot of people, like I said, are busy. They are doing all of these things that aren't really bringing them anywhere. So then you can just say, okay, so how can I reinvent my day so that I take this change into account and this new destination into account and start playing with it and have fun with this? Like, play around with a new morning routine or evening routine or daily routine and have fun with this, like I said. But you've got to get really clear about where you're going so that you can start to actually do those things that are productive. So that's why change makes you get all kind of crazy and makes you do all this busy work, is because your ego is going, holy shit, what the fuck's going on? And I'll actually explain scientifically why this happens. So when we do anything new, our prefrontal cortex, the front part of our brain, that's an energy hog, it uses all kinds of sugars. Our prefrontal cortex says, oh my gosh, okay, this person is doing something new. Let me try to find a pattern so that we can do this more efficiently the next time. And once it sees a pattern, then all of a sudden it sends a message to the basal ganglia, which is the part of our brain that automates things. And when we automate things, we use less energy. We actually conserve energy when we do things over and over and over and over and over again, because it just becomes second nature. So our brain goes, okay, what are we doing here? Let's find a pattern. And again, when change happens, our routine gets thrown off. And so our brain goes, holy shit, what's going on? It starts to try to seek out patterns of what we're doing. And then again, when it finds a pattern, then it shoots it back to the basal ganglia, which saves energy, and says, hey, remember this for next time. But when so much change happens, nothing is routine anymore. So our brain is going, what the hell? Because nothing is making sense. There's no pattern recognition at all. And so in order to stop that chaotic cycle, we've got to stop, figure out where we are, where we want to go, and then make a plan of action that will be progressive so that we can finally get to that space of where we want to go. Okay? And so when you then can recognize where you are, where you want to be, and you start to play with different routines, then your brain, your prefrontal cortex can go, oh, this action is giving me this result, which I know is going to bring me closer to this thing that I want. It's going to seek out those patterns. Hello. It's going to seek out those patterns, find the patterns, remember the patterns. It's going to shoot it back to the basal ganglia. And then the basal ganglia is going to be like, got it, and remember it for next time, so that when you do it next time, tomorrow, the next day, a month from now, a year from now, it's going to be routine. It's going to conserve energy so that you can be even more productive than what you are right now, or what you might be in a month or a week or a year. Okay, so let me know if this helps you. Like I said, when I shared this with my client, she was like, holy shit, Flora, you're blowing my mind. This is awesome. So you don't have to stay in a state of chaos or stay in a state of busy. You can truly move out of that, and change happens. I mean, we can look at, so change is neutral, okay? Change is neutral. But oftentimes we attribute change to, oh my God, this sucks, this is horrible. Or we're like, yes, this is the best thing that's ever happened. But change in and of itself literally is the only thing that we can count on. So change, in my opinion, professional and, personal, change is neutral. It's how we choose to perceive it. The energy that we put on it gives it the meaning. It gives it the charge of like, ooh, this is bad, or ooh, this is good. Change is change. Change literally is the only thing that's constant. So, and if you find yourself going through a state of change, and you find yourself doing busy work and feeling frustrated and feeling like just it's utter chaos. It's anarchy, people. Just kidding. If it's utter chaos, stop. Give yourself time to have a moment, and that's all fine and dandy. But then the next day, get up and say, okay, get out your notepad. Where am I at? I know I keep repeating myself because some of you need to hear this many, many times over. Where am I at? Where do I want to be? And what steps can I take? These are actions. You actually have to do something. You can't just sit here and go, oh yeah, I'm just going to write down where I want to be and then not take any actions, because if you do that, you're not going to get anywhere, okay? So, where are you at? Where do you want to be? And write out actions that you can take to get to where you want to be. If you don't know the actions, Google it. How do I get here? It's just like a GPS. So figure out what you want and then Google it. If you have a private coach, then you can say, all right, coach, hey, so this is what's going on, and this is what's changed in my life, and this is where I want to get to right here. What do you suggest? If you don't have a coach and you want one, because having a coach actually shortens the time that it takes to go from here to here, Find a coach that you resonate with. Find out if they're taking on new clients and say, yo, hey, I love your work. I really would love to work with you. Find out if they have an application process or not. But regardless if you want to work with a coach or not, give yourself permission to take action and to do this work, because this is your life. Time is going to pass by anyway. And if you don't like being busy, if you don't like that busy work and that feeling of overwhelm, only you can sit down, have a moment, let yourself have a moment, figure out where you are, where you want to be, where you're going, where your vision is, and say, okay, so what do I need to do to get to where I want to go? That's it. That's it. No bullshit aside, no rose-colored glasses. And this is just the thing, is that a lot of people get kind of pissed at me because I'm like a no bullshit type person, and I call people on their shit, and I call people out on their behaviors, and some people don't like it, and that's okay. And I used to not do that, but when I started to do it many years ago, it ruffled feathers and it caused a lot of change, which caused a lot of upheaval. But you know what? I did it tactfully, and people sometimes don't like the truth. And sometimes you need to be honest with yourself and say, I don't like where I'm at, so I need to change. I don't like how people are treating me, so I need to change how I treat myself and put in better standards and better boundaries so that I can then get to a place in my life where I have that in my life. I have better boundaries, and people do treat me the way that I want them to treat me, and I treat them accordingly as well. And so don't be afraid to be a hard ass with yourself in this process, okay? Because if you're not going to be, I would be if I was your coach, because I'm kind of a hard ass of a coach anyway, of course, AKA the bullshit eliminator. But don't sugarcoat this for yourself, okay? Don't sugarcoat this for yourself. Lindsay says, oh my gosh, yes, this explains so much. Thank you. There is no such thing as being fickle. Woohoo! I am no longer fickle. Down talk gone. Absolutely. I love it. Yay! So good. So I love you all. I hope this serves you well. Please like, comment, and share. Tag a friend who you think might need this at some point in their life, or if they're going through something like that right now, where you know that they're going through a change and you've seen them just kind of be busy instead of being productive, or they're feeling maybe overwhelmed because they're not quite sure how to transition from where they are to where they want to be. Tag them in the comments below, whether you're watching this on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, on my website, in my newsletter, wherever you see this video. Tag a friend, because sharing is caring. I'm just kidding. All right, I love you all. Hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Mwah. Bye.